I'm on a date tonight, so I'll have to just fucking go to... No, I'll just do it in front of her, shouldn't I?
Going! He's kept going! He scored! Oh, Stockport pressure. And the header into the back of the net! Palmer! I think it's Armstrong played in the game. And a superb goal! Johnny Giddy. Lisa! Rose tries to get the ball in. Wilkinson!
It's a 5-star performance from Stockport County.
All right, we got a small house, but we got a big bloody heart, I tell you.
Hello, and it's already killing me it being on a different day. It's already sent me over the edge, and we're about 7 seconds in. Hello, and welcome to the 65th instance of SK3 TV, the show for the thinking county fan. As long as what the thinking county fan is thinking is, oh, Sunday, yeah, all right then, yeah. So we are here every week, now on a Sunday, from the hours of 8 till about 9ish, with me, Nick, and Hannah. Hello.
Hi. We watched football today. Thanks. What? What did you say?
Football's back.
Football's back.
And you said thanks. Like you were the one who brought it back.
I am football. It feels like, I must say, I know you don't like an early kickoff, but
Vile.
I had like 4 hours sleep. Got up, straight out, went and got Charlotte, realised she didn't have a coat. She wouldn't wear mine. Apparently didn't match the vibe check. Yard. No crazy man. I mean, I think he was there, but I didn't hear him. Although it was loud. I was so old. Relatively slow, like short queue into the pop side. And then football's back. And, you know, you greet all the people on your row like long lost friends because they don't exist. Like, it's like a Schrodinger's cat thing. They don't exist outside, like, my world for periods of time.
Like 5 p.m. on a Saturday, they just disappear at the Tube Line
And
gate.
then I assume they have lives and stuff. They say they do. I mean, who knows?
Nah.
But then like home, nap, sleep. Like it was an hour and 8 minutes according to my Aura ring. Also, if anyone else has an Aura ring, this is a relatively new acquisition. I like it very much, but I've discovered over the last 2 days it hurts like hell when you clap with it because it's on my.
That'll be a problem as a football fan.
I know, right? So I kept then I was doing like the Nicole Kidman clapping for a period today, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that's why she did it. Like, you know, fingers askew.
That readers is how Hannah got sectioned.
I mean, we laugh, but it's only funny if it's true. Yeah, so I'm on board with Sunday lunchtime football. I had a nice day yesterday watching Saturday 3:00 football. It's been really interesting because I keep getting tagged into Swindon fan tweets, somehow trying to blame me for projectiles being thrown onto the pitch and incurring Ian Holloway's wrath. I feel like I picked a really good and really bad game to go to because there were. I mean, I feel like the Swindon fans might fit in well with us because there was a chair thrown, a vape or a lighter, and half a baguette. Like
only half.
Well, to me. And there's a pie wrapper as well. So yeah, Ian Holloway was not.
With the baguette, did it make you feel it was a targeted attack at you?
No, although I was on the front row, like just behind the goal, so this stuff like literally flew over my head. I was like, and the flare, obviously, as well.
Of course. Now, was it a flare or was it a smoke bomb?
No, it was a smoke bomb. Sorry.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
that's what
red.
people do.
It was red. Like, what's that about? I thought they only came in blue.
No, oh, God, you can get them in yellow.
I know. I do know
mean,
that actually from the Mansfield incident in the railway end a few years ago.
Oh, I was thinking of Dortmund. I'd forgotten about Mansfield. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to forget about Mansfield as well. It's like
we all would.
They cease to exist.
And everything's good and well with the world. So why would we need to remind ourselves that Mansfield exists?
Yeah, because we can go on a winning streak now until Mansfield.
Yeah, or the full season. Just take 2 draws against Mansfield and then win every other game.
Maybe we
We'll
could
be there or
just
thereabouts if we do that.
what do this? Is it concede them when you say you just don't want to?
Oh, declare.
Yeah, that sounds like
in the cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a cricket thing. For someone who's never played or watched cricket, I know a lot of cricket words.
Ben from Falls yesterday was looking, because I was sat with him and his son. He was looking at the cricket scores at half time. He's like, "You interested in cricket?" No. No is a complete sentence. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'm barely interested in football most of the time. Besides county. Talking of county, well, not talking of county, because we have admin to do, don't we? Should we do some admin?
Yeah, I feel like last week I forgot a load of admin that I should have done. So let me regroup while you do on the pans.
Okay, on the pants. We are proudly sponsored by On the Pans. On the Pans at On the Pans. From On the Pans until On the Pans. We are, of course, sponsored by Blackbird Kitchen at Gorilla Manchester. On the Pans at Gorilla Manchester. I just used up my allowance of On the Pans there. I couldn't get it out one more time.
The more you say it, the more it sounds like dirty euphemism.
This is how... Yeah, that's true. I thought you were going down the road of it sounding like it doesn't exist. But
well,
no.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say, but I'm conditioned.
Talking of dirty euphemisms, you can buy us a dildo at the link in the episode description. Hannah, what should people do if they are watching?
They should like and subscribe. I'd also like to point out that Blackbird Kitchen are on the pans at the Impossible Burger place and also Len's Chippy.
No, they're on the grills and the fryers, respectively. At those
all right.
two.
Well, either way, it would be remiss of us not to mention that they do homemade chips, or will do homemade chips at Len's. They're not home fries or whatever else.
Yes, it's good to thank you to whoever tweeted Andy asking him that. I posted on the Instagram and asked because that's just given me a lot of joy. Talking of a lot of joy, do you have any other admin before?
People should like and subscribe all of the media platforms. If anyone, well, we can do that. We'll get something. We do the fan forum.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, once I found this picture that I'm looking for, which I found, I am going to surprise you, Hannah. How does that sound? It's not. I mean, it's not really. It's not really a big surprise, but you know.
You're on Approved County Facebook group. Post of the week.
It's a surprise.
We are back, baby. The season's here. People are being mental.
Taylor.
She'll be back. She'll be back. Don't worry.
Has the quality of moderation improved then? If there's things being unapproved again,
Got it in one. Got it. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like I feel like we're making like the gritty biopic of the Facebook group here. We can monitor how it's doing every week.
Oh my god! And right, like suggestions on a postcard on who will play Dan Malt in the movie.
Dan Mole, it'll be Dan Mole on the credits. It'll be like, and special guest star Dan Mole as Dan Mole
Himself.
Yeah. Who's playing me?
Are we? I mean, we're just like the conduits to this. I don't think we.
I want it to be a casting choice that I approve of.
All right.
Aubrey Plaza as Nick Lee.
And Ben Wishaw, Paddington.
Paddington
mean,
Bear as Nick Lee as Vernon Bear. No, he can play Vernon in the bit where you meet him by the pool.
I was walking down Hardcastle Road today, and Vernon was there, and so I did a bit of a like Santa, I know him thing. Blanked me completely. I was expecting like, you know, a bit of a salute or like a secret wink that I wouldn't have been able to see.
Oh, he is for it. Secret. Why wouldn't you be able to see a secret wink? He's not Pudsey.
Well, yeah, but he hasn't got like
Opposable
eyes that open or
thumbs,
close.
but eyes. Like opposable thumbs, but eyes.
Yeah, so that's it. Maybe it was an alternate.
Maybe. You never know these days. You just never know. Right. I have got a unapproved county Facebook group post for you. If Chef Wednesday go out of business, would Stockport be moved up to the Championship?
Now this is funny because we didn't we at some point in the summer like punt this as a thing that was going to happen just to see if it was because it was so ridiculous that we thought it'd be fun to see what happens.
Yeah, we got very weird in the days immediately following the Leyton Orient game. That was one of the things we did.
Yeah. I know what you did last summer. Which is having a reboot.
Isn't everything now?
We should do that like around Christmas, like dig out all our ridiculous ramblings from the off season because they are many and frequent.
Oh, I'll put them into a compilation and we can play that episode. If ever a game gets postponed, we can just play that episode out instead and say this is what happens when there's no football. Sort it out and stop being woke.
Right. Yeah, let's do that. No, I think the answer is no. We will not, like after the season has started, be magically propelled into the Championship.
And if they were going to magically propel someone, probably magically propel Leyton Orient, if you ask me.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
That's to be fair.
We were third. If 3 teams are going up, oh god! When I was on the radio on Friday for the BBC Radio Manchester EFL preview, not just the normal.
This was breakfast time radio.
Peak prime time. Had to set an alarm and everything. They had a Bolton fan, Uncle Jane, and Jane, bless her, they said to her, like, and where do you think you'll be next season? Like this time, like in May. And Jane was like, oh, I'm hoping for a top 3 finish. And I nearly snorted, like, well, that won't get you anywhere, will it, Jane?
Yeah. Idiot, Jane. Idiot.
But she also didn't know that Michelle, they'd sent a reporter to different grounds in the EFL, and they were doing this whole thing where Michelle gave you clues and people had to contact the show and be like, oh, I think she's so where. So Michelle was stood outside a very modern structure that was very curved, but with some spiky bits. And
Bolton, immediately.
Right. Yeah. So at the end of our little chat, Joe says to Jane, Do you know where so where do you think Michelle is, Jane? Jane's like, oh, I don't know. Hannah,
She's the thickest person I've ever heard.
do you think she's at Edgeley Park? I was like, no, I don't think she's at Edgeley Park, but I do think she's like somewhere close to this conversation because I didn't know if they wanted me to be like a smart ass and be like,
Yeah, get the answer straight away.
yeah. So that was Friday, and Jane, and I can't remember third place. That's how we got onto that.
Third place. Yes, it was. Right. So that takes us nicely from admin to an unapproved county Facebook group post to the actual football, which we'll get onto now.
Ooh.
Sorry, love, did I miss something?
Well, I was just going to say, there was a whole fan forum. There were signings galore running up to before there's even football. We don't want to.
Yeah. Should we keep the chronological thing
keep the chronological
going?
order, just because it makes me kind of happy in my
Okay,
like
that's
a little
I mean
bit
that's
of
the only reason
order
we're here.
in my very disordered brain.
Okay, well, shall we start with what did we have? So last week's show was on Monday. What happened between Monday and Wednesday? Was the fan forum? We had signings.
Nathan
We had one
Lowe's signing was just before the fan forum, wasn't it?
Yes, because they wanted people to go home and put the pitchforks back. All those people who were like, "Why haven't you signed a striker, Mr. Wilson?"
Do you know that hour of off the field questions is one of my highlights of the season? I swear that panel have got the patience of saints. Poor Gavin Bailey had an actual baptism of fire, like the most. I was joking before because we had a DI working group meeting just before, which was it was nice to see everyone again. And, it was kind of a nice kickoff, like thinking about what we did last year, what we're going to do this year. And I said, as part of it, like there was something came up around, I don't know, memberships or something. Or we can talk about that as well. And the question, I was like, the bingo, there is fan forum bingo. And a lot of it is the same questions every year. Like, where's my season tickets? Are we going to sign anyone? Is Nick Powell going to play any minutes? And it was like tick, tick, tick. So
someone asking a non-football question in the football section, from what I'm told.
Yeah, and then got very naughty when Steve told her to sit down and shut up, basically.
I love it when Steve gets sassy.
Steve was quite sassy, actually.
Yeah.
He was very good value. Charlie was very relaxed and quite candid about things as well. I think I noticed this in Spain. He looks, I don't know, not like, I don't know, like at times last season, maybe it's just after the break that he's had a bit of a rest and he looks good. But Steve made him giggle a few times. But my favourite one was the question about the pies. And this was clearly news, Charlie. He has lived his life blissfully unaware. Can you imagine just how lovely that would be? Blissfully unaware of Piegate and all of the shenanigans that
What an existence.
I know. And so, like, you could see Steve, like, saying to him, oh, yeah, it was a massive thing. And he's like, what? But it has now eventually been confirmed to us 8 months on that the Great Pies took 45 minutes to heat up. The new pies take less. And that's what it came down to. It was like supply and demand and being able to heat them up. And then there was a follow-on question. Why do some pies take longer to heat up than
That's my favourite follow-on question to anything ever.
Gavin was like, Oh, I don't really know. I'm
Science?
not a caterer, but like I'm thinking, well, the Great North Pies, we loved them so much because they were very, very dense in filling, whereas the new
Yeah.
ones are not. It's just, I don't know. Is it physics? Probably physics, like heat conduction.
Physics, thermodynamics, maybe.
Yeah. So I think that's there's a simple answer. There were some other daft questions, some around the new ticketing sites. That were not that wasn't a daft question in fairness, but the question is basically the answer was basically it's off. Like it's an off-the-shelf product. We've not designed it from scratch. Lots of clubs use it. They've kind of iterated it and it's evolved in line with other clubs' feedback. So it is what it is. The membership. Let's do the membership. So the membership scheme was launched, soft launch, because I think it actually properly launches tomorrow. I think you can sign up tomorrow on Wednesday afternoon, just before the fan forum, which, given that it hasn't landed, I think, quite as well as they might have hoped, was either a very sensible decision because it meant that they could get questions out of the way, or not, because I think it wasn't clearly communicated, like the benefits, right, if you're a season ticket holder already, you get this, this, and this. It almost needs a matrix, like you get this is the gold level, this is the platinum level. Gold level, tick, tick, tick. Platinum level, tick, tick, tick. And I still don't know the answer to this. Is it different experiences? Like, do you get invited to some as a season ticket holder and others if you're a member? Like, I don't know the answer. Do you get extra loyalty points for being a member? But if you're a season ticket holder, you've already got 275 in the bank anyway. So that 50 isn't really going to be that much of a differentiator. It remains that if you are a fan that goes to games and away games, then you'll build up loyalty and you'll have priority for away games. You do get a travel mug. Now, this will be the clincher for me because I love a bit of swag, merch.
Don't we know it?
My last Stockport County water bottle I used on the first use. It got left at Heathrow security, never to be seen since. I can't be as lucky as to win heads or tails ever again, so it will never be replaced. So yeah, I inevitably I will do this because fear of missing out and because I want a travel mug. But at £35, and I can't even remember how much it was for Charlotte, and I'd do it for Ted as well. It adds up to quite a lot, and I feel like season ticket holders could be given some kind of discount if they're, because like you're already getting the discount in the shop, so that's not an additional benefit of membership. I don't know. It just feels like it could have been, launched sooner, I think. But at the moment, it feels a little bit like nickel and diming. And, these are benefits that were, a lot of them are benefits that were communicated to the season ticket holders. And I don't for a second think that anyone would turn around. Well, actually, no, this is us. So someone turns around and says, oh, I only got a season ticket because I get 10% off on non-kit purchases in the shop. And now I could have paid £35 to get that. Then I'm not saying that's obviously, don't clip that up and be like,
why would I?
No, I know you wouldn't. I know.
I'm nice.
I know.
Tell your friends. Tell everyone. What else came out of the forum that was big? Oh, we had the Nick Powell revelation.
Oh yeah.
That's not really a revelation.
It's not, and I've heard a scurrilous rumour today that
Yeah.
a deal has been done. I don't want to. It'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to say where, but apparently, I don't know whether it's. I don't know how much founding there is in it. I don't think his departure is going to be the answer to our financial struggles or our non-existent financial struggles that everyone thinks it's going to be. It's been, talked about over the years that he's on a contract that has some performance-related benefits to it. So he's not on the £16,000 or whatever it is that Wrexham fans that he was on 2 years ago. So he's not on that big wage that people think. So yeah, I mean, on his day, he's brilliant. On his day, he's best player on the pitch. But those days are few and far between. And good luck to him if he can go somewhere and get some minutes and continue to do something that he clearly loves fairly locally. Then good luck to him.
Club X must really want 5 games they want to win next season.
Maybe they'll be really strategic. Right, come on, Nick. Let's look at this list and pick out the ones, and they'll do that now and like build in plenty of recovery time, not around school holidays.
God, he loves his kids.
What else was there for there was some kind of tease, like a lot of it's kind of come to fruition now. So there was some teasing around Ollie Norwood potentially taking on the captaincy, which has it been announced? I mean, he was given the captain's armband today, but I don't know that there's been an announcement.
No, because I think last year we did announce that Bate was getting the captaincy. So I'm not too sure. I'm one of those who. I think the whole single club captain is maybe, I'm going to use a great phrase now. It's a relic of a time that has long passed, I would say. I think it's more about leadership groups and that sort of thing now.
Yeah, and one of
the leadership groups.
And one of the things that Charlie said about Ollie Norwood was that they've benefited from his leadership on the pitch without him having that kind of name as captaincy, but he is a logical fit. He was very keen to take on that role. So let's see what happens. It's tough for Bate, isn't it? Because you can still be a leader and a captain off the pitch and have that influence in the dressing room, training, even when injured. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of, someone being named in like talking about Bates, Teo Eden. It was very much, these are not simple injuries. They're ones that they were seeing specialists, and he said quite fairly that he couldn't really talk anymore about that. Hoskinen was interesting because the rumours that had been doing the rounds on social media was that it was kind of 3 months that he was going to be out for. And what Charlie said was that he wouldn't feature this weekend, but it wouldn't be long until we saw him. So that's either significant misdirection, which again, that they come to these events like this and they are very transparent. And there is some stuff that is commercially sensitive, if you like, in terms of intelligence about the team, intelligence about, let's say, for example, that Hoskinen's out for 6 months. We're in negotiations for a replacement, and suddenly we're desperate, and that is reflected in our kind of buying power and negotiation and the sellers. So it could be misdirection, but it certainly didn't seem as bad as it sounded. Who are the other ones? He was talking about someone. He was so deadpan. There were two. There was one about why did we sell Fraser Horsefall, and his answer was we didn't sell Fraser Horsefall.
Very good, very good.
But he was talking about how Fraser they want certain things from their contract, and it's a discussion, and sometimes it's best that they move on so they can get what they want personally and professionally from their role, which is absolutely fine and sensible and grown up. He was asked about Tyler Onyango, and so where are we with Tyler Onyango, I think is how it was phrased, and the answer was he's in America. Like, okay, yeah, fine. But he went on to say that there's an issue this season with the disparity between when the Premier League starts and when the EFL starts. And so, the Premier League teams are still peak pre-season.
Yeah.
They're coming back
Got
from
another 2
tours.
weeks,
Like Newcastle and Spurs played in South Korea today. Like it's very much kind of ongoing. Ongoing.
Tyler ongoing.
Yeah. So Tyler, he said, when he's back from America, they'll talk again. But when he went back to Everton after being in Pinatar, at that point, Everton had 12 professional senior players. They now have 14, let's say. I think that was him kind of stabbing the dark, but they're still not particularly well resourced. And so he was talking about how there will be changes, but there'll be chains, if you like. So it'll depend on what's going on somewhere else in terms of what happens to him. Very much interested, very much want him back. And if we can have him back, we will. And the same for Roman Dixon, who was mentioned too. So that sounds positive. Ian Dowden's mentioned Brad Hills. So Brad Hills, formerly of this parish. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, we'll get on. No, I'll forget. There's a new mural in the pop side, and Brad Hills features, as do the under-15 Floodlit Cup champions.
Yes, now we're talking.
Paddy, Sauce, like it's really lovely, and it's very much we don't erase players from our history once they move on, even if they're playing against us, as we will see a lot this season. We celebrate the successes that they had with them, and I think that's had with us. I think it's a really nice touch that we have got players that have moved on, like Brad Hills, who may or may not be available, but still unlikely to come back. As Liam said last week, he doesn't think it will happen. I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think it will now. No. Talking of murals, we've still got Rooney and Hogan on the one on the Cheadle End concourse, which upsets me every time. Still, even by now, I'm like, no, why have we got a mural of Macclesfield's manager? Such weird behaviour. Our days in between the Forum and the Bolton game were brightened by 2 more signings as well. One of which is the one I'm most excited about of all the signings this summer. No, it's not Danny Andrew. It's Owen Dodson. I was so excited.
He was brilliant today. The advantage with Owen Dodson is that he was at least in Pinatar, so I assume he's been training with us for a period, and he just kind of slotted in, didn't he? And he made, like, ball control just made such a difference, and it just looked effortless. And that one is a season-long loan with
an option
an option at the end. Oh, and this goes back to, as well, one of the things that was mentioned at the fan forum was, does Nathan Lowe have a recall clause? Yes, he does, but it goes both ways, which made everyone chuckle. I did think about that today in the something minutes. And they said, well, why would you, the question was, follow-up question, why would you have a recall clause for Nathan Lowe, but we wouldn't put one in for Ryan Rydell? And what Charlie said about Ryan Rydell is that, you know, for him at Exeter, they wanted to send him somewhere where he would have football week in, week out, which he'd had Charlie described it as a really bitty season that he'd had like last season. And so that's kind of part of the deal with Exeter. Like, they agree to play him week in, week out, and in return, we don't have a recall clause and pull him back in January. I mean, I dare say there will be some kind of like, you know, emergency, like proper emergency.
Yeah, there's always ways around.
Yeah,
things,
but that was the explanation, which like I really like for him as well. Yeah.
I mean, there were points last week where I was sort of wishing we hadn't sent him out on loan just yet, but luckily we did. Obviously, after the injury to Teo, we needed a left back, and two have come in now. And for all the talk of how good Dodgson was today, it was his replacement in that position who delivered the cross for the second. One of the best crosses I think I've ever seen at Edgeley Park.
That's big chat.
It was a wonderful
It was.
goal. But we'll get onto the game as a whole, because that first half an hour or so, I came away from it wondering how we weren't at least 4 or 5 goals down.
Oh my God, it was. Yeah, that's exactly how it felt. It felt like if they had managed to convert those chances, and I think they're missing Dion Charles and they're missing Collins. So Dion Charles is one of the ones that have bolstered Huddersfield, and Huddersfield, their stats for yesterday, because Nick,
So you have stats.
I have stats. They updated at I don't know, not that long ago. It's like I've got my iPad. I'm like, I don't know, I can sit here and be like, right, yeah, so Kyle Watson, I've got shots and key passes, I've got passes and touches, I've got defensive actions. You know, I love about a bit of PPDA. I've got OBV, on ball value. I mean, this is like pressures.
That's a Dave Challoner stat right there.
Love pressures, counter pressures. I've got it all. XG chain. That's all I've got. But you know,
even Football Manager doesn't have half of these.
Honestly, this was my Sunday afternoon was so good. I had a nap and then just played with Stats Bomb for some time.
We've all had a nap, Hannah. We've all had a nap.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted, as you were.
No, a very, very strange first half. I wasn't getting pissed off, though, at any point, but I was a bit... I thought we looked very disjointed, but then again, Bolton are in a similar situation of having to gel a load of new players, and I think it showed in elements of their performance. So probably for all the talk of Bolton are shit, that's funny, isn't it? They're the team that'll be up there, I think, once they start to gel.
They were far better than any Bolton team I've seen for the last couple of seasons. And let's be clear, they're a team that were in the playoffs. Obviously not the season just gone, but the season before and the season before that. So, you know, they have always been up there. There's been lots of talk about Stephen Schumacher and what he did at Plymouth.
Yeah.
Plymouth. And I think that will get them a long way. I don't know, knowing kind of a bit of like what goes on behind the scenes at Bolton, don't know that necessarily it'll be enough to kind of propel them, but certainly they've had the investment. Cozier Dewberry, I kind of got to the point where I was calling him Dewberry What's It, which Charlotte found really funny, which made me do it more, and now that's all I've got in my head. But he is ex-Arsenal, really tidy little player, particularly in the first half. But bizarrely, and this, I've always had some frustration with sofa, some podcasts will just sit there and be like, sofa score rated that player, didn't have a really good game, 6.4. That's what he scored, Kozia Dubry. You look in StatsBomb at his actual stats, and they're kind of above and beyond anyone else in a Bolton shirt. So I still don't understand. And SofaScore and FootMob and all of these are understandably very private and transparent about how they assimilate their stats and where they come from. I looked at that in the car on the way home. I was like, just makes no sense whatsoever. How could he score so low? Malik Mothersill scored really low for us. So our highest rated.
No, she's fine, thanks.
Oh, there we go. Can we get it out of the way? And his stats are really good, particularly pressures. So yeah, I don't like. I'm going to make it my mission this year to demystify it because it's utter bollocks, quite honestly.
Someone needs to.
Yeah,
I think
be my
you're
mission.
the person for the job.
Well, it'll be my hyper focus mission until I get bored and distracted by something else. So.
Well, you're okay because you've got the football season till like at least May now. So you'll be.
Yeah.
You're
So
fine.
Malik did say he had a poor game. StatsBomb disagrees. So I think impact, and he scored.
Yeah, the first debut league goal from a county player since Hannah. Any ideas?
Lewis Cass.
Very good.
I know.
Excellent.
Yeah, a player that I'd forgotten even existed, let alone have an accolade like that.
Do you know who was the one before that?
I did, because we've obviously read the same thing. Is it SARS? No.
No, it was Ollie Crankshaw at Weymouth, October 2021. Thank you to Ben Walker for that. He was the one who procured that. We probably read the same tweet there.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I mean, from seeing Malik's interview after the game and the one when he signed, he's obviously very confident. He's very driven, and that came across in his interview again. The fact he's already challenging himself to do better.
And I think we talked about this on Monday, that after the whole game, he was with Corey Adai, because we have to now differentiate between the Coreys. He was with
Corey Club. One is a brand new sun. Carry on.
Oh God. Him and Corey Adai spent ages talking to fans. Little Ted had his picture taken with Malik Mothersill. But going back to what Joe McKeelan, the Peterborough fan, after he signed, he sent me a text saying he is the most hit or miss player we have ever had. And on his day, he is brilliant. And if that's him on his off day, I can live with that.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
And the first goal very much did come out of nothing, because I'd chosen to leave the bar area to go outside for a vape, and it was on my journey down the steps that the goal went in. So,
well,
me missing goals round half time is just the most perfect link up ever, to be honest.
I got really disorientated today because I think I've talked about the three blokes that sit next to me before. It was really lovely to see them. I was fairly uncharacteristically in after them today, which is, I don't know, I can't remember a time that's ever happened. And at just before half time, they always go for a drink. And I'm sat there going, you getting thirsty yet? Because often we score just before half time. And they're like, no. But no, come on. This is, and they were there until 5 minutes into injury time. It was, and I said to them, this is, very disconcerting. He said, oh, it's because it's a Sunday, it's an early kickoff.
That's
not rushing to get back and all of that. And it's like, well, you've set a precedent now. So
It was so weird, like being in the courtyard before the game, and then looking at my phone, at my watch, and seeing it was like 20 to 11.
Yeah.
It's just it's so disconcerting. It's so weird. I don't like it. I don't ever want to kick off at that time on a Sunday ever again.
I loved it for the
No.
reasons that I've already outlined. But that's okay.
No.
We can all be different.
Yeah, we can. It's fine. I love the fact how our original plan was for me to come to yours after the game, wait around for about 6 hours before recording this. Then that changed to me coming to yours to pre-record and then
Yeah.
release it at 8 p.m. And then within about 2 minutes, you proffered the suggestion that why don't you just go home and have a sleep, Nick? And
Yeah.
you had me at that moment. You didn't need to say anything else.
Well, because like, you know, we planned out this like movie watching extravaganza afternoon. And I was like we both end up going to sleep. So yeah.
Would be like Ross and Joey in Friends where they have the nap together and it all goes weird. Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't have been weird at all.
I
Until
don't
you'd
know,
have been like, I was having a
dribble.
really nice nap, and then Hannah started snoring, and then
Yeah. Just assumed it was Madden. It's fine. So we sort of, after we'd weathered the storm of the first half hour, it seemed the goal kind of gave us a bit of a foothold in the game. We came out in the second half, obviously, with the players having received a bit of a bollocking of some sort, I would imagine.
nothing changes, does it?
No, never changes. The only real... Well, I suppose there's no real individual negative. No one had an individually bad game.
No.
I did feel that the two fullbacks, who, to be fair, are primarily wing backs, but are being asked to play at fullback. But yeah, Dodgson and O'Keefe did sort of get caught out a couple of times, like sort of chasing balls that they had no need to chase. But the real star, well, he's not the star of the show because he didn't get man of the match, but would probably have been in the conversation, Mr. Owen Moxon.
Yeah, there were some really flashy passes in the first half, though, that just didn't hit. But SK3 TV away sponsored Owen Moxon did us proud today.
He did. He was all action. He was everywhere. Like a little bit of everything in his display, and I very much enjoyed it. It's good because there's an element of. I mean, we obviously have to have a scapegoat. We have to write somebody off, and there was an element of that from some over the last few months. I think. So, didn't see what. Well, we signed him in January when he's not played for half a season, so just let him get fit, and he's getting there.
Yeah, I think. You know, we obviously saw the potential and the raw talent, hence our continued investment in his journey. But yeah, I mean, he was brilliant when he was at Carlisle, and then latterly he's not had like that great a run of it. So, but he's a brilliant player and lots of potential, and he's kind of hit his stride. I think, like the age he is, it's time for him to have a proper home for a while, and it's nice. I just thought, what can I pull up on Owen Moxon? It's a bit slow sometimes. This will get better. This whole stats section, but playing left defensive midfield. What did you think about where Callum Campson's playing?
There was almost a suggestion of him being in the 10 in that Will Collar role, which I always thought suited Callum Camps more than Will Collar anyway.
Yeah, but I would have thought that it would have been the other way around. Moxon kind of pushing forward in that more like attacking midfielder role versus Camps. Don't know.
Well, I mean, if Camps is going to play in the 10 in a position where he's going to be carrying the ball a bit more, maybe he should put some shin pads on, because that is a Dave Challoner livid interview waiting to happen. No shin pads, socks right down. It's like, well, we're just asking for trouble here. We know
Yeah.
when he inevitably gets ruled out for 3 months.
Well, especially since, I mean, and I wouldn't say, injury crisis now that we've had, some significant bolstering over the last few days, but we're not doing brilliantly on the injury front, and it feels a little bit reckless.
Yeah, that's we're obviously already getting injuries that we can't control. So let's try and stick to preventing ones that we can have some sort of say over. If you're going around with no shin pads, then maybe when Tanto left, he said, "Oh, Callum, I've
I
got
was
a
just
present for
thinking
you,"
that.
and it was a
Yeah.
box with no shin pads in it.
Yeah,
the
it
boss,
was.
the boss will love it.
Yeah, it was very much like, right, this has been my thing. I now want it to be your thing.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, I'm all for it. Who else are we going to pick out? So in terms of the new
Ollie,
signings,
you can't. I don't think you can talk about today without talking about Ollie Norwood.
just superb again. Didn't someone have him as a key player in their 4-4-2 season preview? I do believe they did. Someone who knows their shit.
Yeah, someone who had to make a tactical change when the rumors about Tanto started. That's
Yeah.
how on the ball I am. But I've also done the EFL, the Fantasy Scouts website. They have an influencer panel. So I've done our stats or our kind of season stuff for them as well. And it really brought home for so they were like, I had to give all sorts of things like key players and things that like the 4-4-2 one to a certain extent, but it was more stats based, set pieces. And I'm writing it down and I'm thinking, no. So it was left corners, right corners, indirect free kicks, penalties, all Ollie Norwood. Like he's the set piece king, which is fine. Does feel, and I'm sure that other people would be able to step up and take, obviously, be able to step up and take those. But it does feel that we are very, very reliant on him, and he is. Like I saw today, I noticed for the first time, he has done it last season, and Louis Barry's talked about how Ollie Norwood was very much like, I'll take you under my wing, I'll make you the best player, I will push you hard, I won't be, super kind all the time, but I will make you a better player. And I was seeing that again, like in how he was talking to players like one-on-one, he very much talks about the captaincy, but he very much kind of has that instilled in him. He's a very senior player. He's seen a lot, and he's very motivational. Interestingly, we talked last week about the bollocking that Shea Gardner got from Ben. Corey Adai had a similarly vociferous go at Malik Mothersill at some point today. And I don't know, it depends on the player, doesn't it? I think some players will take it on the head and kind of take it for the constructive criticism that it's intended. Maybe that Corey Adai's stats from today, unsurprisingly, are 99th centile, 100th, obviously because of clean sheets, but the one that I did notice was he was second centile for passing into danger. So 28% were passes into dangerous positions. And that's...
I suppose you'd almost argue that that's one of those stats that's always going to look worse than it is, because by definition, if a goalkeeper's passing it to a defender, then I suppose by definition that is a dangerous position,
Yeah,
because you're facing your own goal and stuff.
Where Bolton did do well was they passed through our midfield. So they we do have a very robust, very, very strong midfield, and they kind of worked out how to go round, and then you had Corey O'Keefe like trying to catch up, which was, I think, I don't know whether it is a pre-season, like a match fitness thing. Some of our players looked a little bit slow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost that lack of a pre-season coming back. But I think the same could possibly be said of Bolton from what I've seen their fans saying online. So
Yeah.
I'm sort of in that weird position of thinking, like, fans of other clubs will have watched that game, obviously because it was the only game on.
Yeah.
Fans of our rivals will have watched that game, and they'll have started with to be fair, same as a lot of our fans were after watching Luton the other night. It was very much a case of, oh well, if that's the standard, then I think we're going to be fine. It's like they're going to maintain that quality for. They're not going to get any worse or better over the next 45 games. And it'll be the same with us. People have watched us and gone, oh, well, if they're favourites to go up, then we've got nothing to worry about. It's like, well, you probably should do, because we were not at the races for large periods of that game. And on another day would have got battered, yet we've still won and kept a clean sheet.
And I think that's the takeaway for me. Like, we have, over the last couple of years, we have been the better team for massive portions of games. And we were incredibly lucky not to concede. Like, you look at some of those Bolton shots that like pinging off the woodwork. And, on another day, all it takes is like to hit the ball a fraction different and it flies past Corey. So I do think we were lucky to a certain extent. I think Charlie said that, didn't he? Like, he would have been happy to go in at half time level. So to go in at half time 1-0 up was great. But yeah, I think it comes. I remember Grant McCann saying when he took over at Donny that you don't, until October, you're not looking at like full fitness and having a really good assessment on what the team looks like and relative strengths. So I think we did well. I think we've been that team before who have been the better team, but we've lost. So and we said this last year, there were a fair few results where we'd go one down and either go on to win or at least equalize, and that's a change as well. So we can play like that and still take advantage, because that was the difference, right? We took advantage of the chances that we had very clinically, and they didn't.
It almost felt at times, I think there's been more of an effort to bring in this possession style that we tried to bring in a year ago, but it's not the be all and end all now. We're very much aware that we can still mix it up. Indeed, Corey Adai got a bit of a bollocking for his choice of pass a couple of times in the first half as well.
And the possession-based thing is interesting again. And we talked about this at the end of last season. The games that we were winning were the games where we had 40-30% of possession or less. And the games that we were losing was equal, or we had more possession. Same was true of today. So if you look at the first half, I think it was like pretty much like 52-48, something like that. Second half, much more in their favour, and that was our better half. So it's that it looks like that's continuing to be the case, that when we kind of do concede possession, we're not just passing it around, we're doing something kind of active with it. It makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's very much. I think the passing it round and not really doing much with it, not really pressing with it, kind of takes people back to an awful time. That style of football does not go down well with us at all. I'm fine with that, no problem. Worth pointing out, I did think Bolton could possibly have had a penalty prior to us scoring as well. Be interesting to see if people pick it out on the highlights. But yeah, he looked to be pulled
I've
back by O'Keefe.
I've watched the Sky Sports highlights and it wasn't on there. I mean,
Maybe it's not obvious.
maybe. I mean, I was at Walsall Swindon yesterday, and Swindon got a penalty. It's right in front of me. I must have been closer than the referee. It was the softest. I've not watched it back. It was not, absolutely not a penalty. It's just swings and roundabouts, isn't it, Nick?
It's very much. She's fine, thank you. No, she's only 28, thanks. Oh no, after you. Blah blah blah. On one quick thing before we wrap up Bolton. Actually, Kyle Wotton probably preparing himself for another season of being the thicko
Brilliant.
scapegoat. And he was my shout for man of the match even before the goal,
Yeah.
because I thought the way he took the pressure off our midfield and defence, just his hold up play was absolutely superb again, and he very much his movement as soon as that fantastic cross came in for the second, you just knew he was getting on the end of it.
He looked like he had magnets in his boots today.
Mm.
Just like he's always quite airily, but whoever was marking him was like similar kind of height and build.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't using him as a climbing threat. It was a relatively low Muga score. But yeah, he, as ever, he gets knocked around, pushed and pulled. And Bolton, not so much on him, but certainly kind of on the wings were like double man marking, and so that meant that he did have a bit more space, but yeah, he was immense, and just I don't know, like just it. Not that he didn't look like he didn't look like a different player. It was just more obvious than I think it is normally. I think even as someone who is who sits in the I don't rate him camp. Not me. I'm just saying, you would struggle to criticize him on today's performance. I don't doubt that there will be, because
it's almost like a year ago he was very much his job was to get the most out of Louis Barry this time last year. Whereas some of the crossing ability we've brought in out wide would kind of suggest we're going to actually start putting the types of crosses in that Kyle Wotton will thrive upon, which is very exciting.
Speaking of, can we have an open and frank, without prejudice, discussion about Nathan Lowe?
He looked slow. I mean, I did not know what he looked like when he signed. I did not think he looked like that. I did not think he looked like basically Curtin from This Country or.
Oh, do you know what? There was a point today where he was just running along. His hair was like flapping. It was like Pete Beckham.
Yeah, I mean, as someone whose hair flaps when he plays football and who I actually had to retire from football because of that, because the women just couldn't handle themselves. That's what set the women's game back so far, because women just couldn't handle themselves coming to watch my games.
You were playing women's football?
No, they just came to watch, man. They just came to watch. They came to watch for the hair, and then they'd just be shouting like lurid and vulgar comments at me. I'm not a piece of meat.
Okay. like the brisket that Matt refers to.
Yes, if anyone was going to make a brisket reference, I knew it would be Matt. Yeah, I think he looked quite a way off it, Loaded, but you can tell from his movement that once he's got a run of games, which I don't think will be far off.
I don't think he's ever been particularly pacey. Let's be clear as well. Like, he's not really had proper game time since he left Walsall. He's been on the bench at Stoke a few times, but hasn't featured that much. So there are likely to be fitness issues. We don't know. Well, I don't know what kind of pre-season he's had at Stoke. I didn't realise that he's from Knutsford. He's very local. So that makes sense as well in terms of, potential destinations. And, yes, he had an incredible season at Walsall. No one knows. It's like the whole Louis Barry discussion. Louis Barry goes to the Championship. No one knows like how he'll do. It'll be keep an eye on him at Sheffield United. But it's the same with Nathan Lowe. He's proven himself at League Two, but he's proven himself at Walsall. And otherwise, he played for Edgerton and then Stoke Academy and Walsall. So it's not like he is a seasoned loan player that has been sent out all over. There is a certain degree of alchemy with loan players. You can have outstanding loan players that just don't click. But, in terms of his stats, in terms of, what we hope we're getting from him, then, it's still exciting and will only improve. And it might be that he's like a Benno in terms of, comes on for 20 minutes here and there at the end of games if it makes sense strategically. Obviously, Stoke will want him to play. We will also protect ourselves, knowing that Stoke pulled him back from Walsall in January at a point where he, bless him, was very keen, reportedly very keen to stay at Walsall, probably because he knew what would ultimately happen. And it, probably would have been better for his career in the same way that, I think the Barry family feel similarly about Louis being pulled back, and who knows what would have been different if he'd have stayed. Might have incurred the same injury. So one to watch. Clearly a very talented player, but it loan, like with anyone. I mean, look at Fiorini. He just didn't really click. And the expectation is that will be different this season. Certainly looks that way, when in pre-season. And so I think it's improper to make calls on Nick Lowe after 20 minutes or whatever he played.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very telling that the two loan signings we've made in Lowe and Dodgson has been followed by a lot of whinging about getting beaten to players by clubs like Stockport, which just give me that in my veins every day of the year. That is fantastic.
If anyone wants to increase their blood pressure, go and read the comments on the BBC match report. The most unhinged responses I mean, I'm not discriminating. There are some bonkers county fan takes as well. Like someone saying, we won, we got 3 points, we scored 2 goals, we won't make playoffs, but if we can finish in the top half, I'd be happy. Like, what? Like 90 minutes? 90 minutes is the season.
But
also some Bolton fans who clearly have forgotten that on the last 3 occasions that we've met them, we've beaten them. And they're like, is this what it's come to now? We're losing to Stockport. No, it's been like...
I mean, Bolton fans must genuinely be sick of the sight of us by now.
It's just, I think the problem is, like, they have got this, we're a Premiership team.
Oh, there's so many like that in this league.
And it's like, Donny's another interesting one. So I get really wound up with Donny fans. And I think that's because in my head, Donny are a League Two team, because the season that we came up, they'd come down.
Yeah.
But I don't see them as a League One team. They're all like, right, it's back on. We're gonna piss the league. Like, no, I really don't think you are. But again, it's that mentality. Bradford to a certain degree as well. Some of the fan base. And Bradford, we've got Wickham next weekend, and Wickham were atrocious yesterday.
Very poor, very, very, yeah. Of all the, I think that's the one that jumped out most at me. Oh, and Barnsley beating Plymouth as well. was another one. Although,
Yeah.
to be fair, given how bad Plymouth were for large portions of last season, it's going to take a bit. This has always been my thing about when a team gets relegated, they'll always be automatically installed as one of the favourites to go up the following season. It's like, no, but a lot of the time you have to be really bad to get relegated against some of the
Yeah,
teams you're up
and then
against.
also a lot of your players have break clause, like relegation break clauses. So there are exoduses, plural.
Exodai!
Exodi, is that it?
I don't know, but I like the
Let's
sound of
call it
it.
that. Cardiff particularly have had some big departures, and yes, it's not as simple as that. As we saw, like there's only 5 teams from the last. What was that stat I had? 5 teams from the last 21 or 25 that have gone straight back up. And that didn't include, I know it did include Birmingham, but it was it Rotherham, Burnley? Like it's not a common
No.
occurrence. And Birmingham, are a bit of an anomaly.
Yeah, just a bit. Oh, they've got a documentary for me to watch. I might get on that later.
Apparently, Tom Brady just comes across as a really, really unlikable
Yeah,
man,
that's why I'm
which
watching it.
which is funny because when you look at Welcome to Wrexham, as as however much disdain there is for Wrexham, and you can't, like Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, you can't, I can't help but I think they're funny even in spite of myself.
Yeah,
Whereas
you're right.
Tom Brady just does not paint himself in glory, and the way that he talks about Wayne Rooney, and it's apparently I need to watch this. I'll watch it and then form my
We'll
own.
watch it and we'll report back next week, which will be once again 8 p.m. on Sunday. That is our time. That's our slot.
Yeah.
That's what we're having. That's what we're having
Yeah.
going forward. And the audio version will be out at 6 a.m. the following morning.
Perfect
No point holding
timing.
on to it.
No.
No point holding on to it.
No. It's good to be back, isn't it? Do you know what I loved though? I loved seeing people sitting behind, Padders had a baby. Well, not his partner's had a baby this week. The kind of the new paint smell, the remembering that they do pizza in the pop side, and it is really good. Still, no one orders it. I didn't. I wonder whether they moved it to the food and drink bar. Don't think they have. That still annoys me. The mural, but then it's the characters as well. I talked in the past about the manager. I got a text from Will, team, manager's up. I was like, we're back.
Yeah,
Nothing
we're back,
changed.
baby.
Everything stays the same.
I just we've had our first clean sheet of the season, our first points, our first win, our first goals. What we need now is our first unmitigated head loss of the season. That's what we.
It can't be far off. When we lose to Crewe in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, when our children lose to Crewe.
Because we played the kids and we've got no respect for the cup competition.
Yeah.
And someone's got injured as well. That's my prediction. Can't wait.
Yeah, the one first team player we'll pick for that game will get injured. Yeah, long term. Lovely, that's something to look forward to. I still can't come to terms with the fact there's no midweek game this week. First week of the season, you should have a midweek game, either league or cup. I'm not a fan. Really threw me off when I looked at that.
The Championship aren't back yet, are they? So
no, losers.
And then they're on ITV1.
Yeah, and people are getting the knickers in a twist about it, despite the fact that ITV has been televising Championship. My first exposure to the Championship was on ITV1 back in the mid-90s. Well, it was just ITV then. It wasn't ITV1.
No, and they just, it's part of things change. Not because of the teams in those leagues, but because the broadcasters bid for a certain number of games.
Yeah.
That number, like the same way that Sky Sports, I can't remember what it's gone from. Is it 228 game? Like, because we knew there was a sliding scale, right, of games that Sky Sports were covering. It's just the same. They bid and win for the rights to however many games a season, and then they choose the games that they think are going to do well commercially, and and Wrexham is that. It's not.
The same reason why every Manchester United FA Cup game for like the past 30 years has been televised, because half the country is United fans armchair United fans who will tune in to watch them win.
Yeah.
The other half of the country is tuning in to watch them lose.
Anyone but United. Yeah.
Yeah. Easy. Absolutely simple. Right. I think we should wrap it up there. And
okay, I can go and have my tea now.
You can go and have your tea. I'm going to go and have my tea because I'm a bit cranky because I had a nap and then came straight to do this.
Oh, I felt shocked. When you have those naps and you wake up feeling worse, that's what
that was me at 7. That was me at 7. And I just thought I'd immediately text you and go, would you have rang me as per my instruction?
No, I was sat here I was going to walk everyone through StatsBomb for an hour and a half, just watch the numbers go steadily down while I tried to...
And then up again, and then down again.
Oh my God, there is. Oh, do you know what? I'll visualize some of this data. There's I think it was because also I am finding a way with the old StatsBomb, and I just keep hitting on random things and finding really good data, and then can't find it again. And there was it was like a race one. Was it under tactics? No, I don't know. I'll find it again. But it was beautiful, but showing how much better we were in the second half than the first.
I might have to get Taylor Swift to do a jingle for the stats.
Yeah,
Stats bomb. Done. Nailed it.
Yeah, that's probably That's Tom Jones though, not Taylor Swift.
I know. I realised as soon as I said Taylor Swift, I realised the Tom Jones thing was there instead. So
yeah,
can't have it all.
Yes,
we'll get you a little jingle for that. That sounded patronising. Don't do that again, Nick.
No, I'd like a little jingle. I could have my stats time. I could do it in a really relaxing. So before we talked about the fan forum, I was going to say, because everything that I said so there was a 10-minute voice note version of the fan forum. If anyone cares enough, we can share it.
Very good.
Anything that was in there that we were told not to talk about was Ollie Norwood. Just put out bedtime stat stories with Hannah.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do the CBBS bedtime story.
Yeah,
we'll do it like that.
And I could just go through Callum Connolly 1.1, some kind of weird.
Oh,
the shipping forecast.
It sounded like the shipping forecast then, yeah. Which I've always found vaguely arousing, the shipping forecast.
Yeah. Do you know what though? Here's an interesting stat. The average age of our team that played today,
24
minutes played weighted, right? 27.2. The average age for the league based on yesterday, essentially 26.5. So we'll keep an eye on that, because people keep saying that we've got a very young team. We do not.
Can I have my own stats corner?
I don't know.
I'll have a stats corner where I don't provide any context. I'll just say a number. I'll go 46.8%.
There was just leave it earlier on, and I was looking at it. I was like, "Is that good or bad?"
What am I weighting this against?
I think it was the pressures one. Is this good? Does it mean they're under pressure? They're putting pressure on? I
don't know what to think. Right, we will be back Sunday at 8. There will be other stuff coming out this week prior to that. because I won't sleep through interviews this week. That's a good start. I might do. It's very possible that I might sleep through stuff tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Right, we'll be back on Sunday. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Say goodbye, Hannah.
Bye.
Bye.